How's it going, guys? This is Matt again, and I just wanted to talk to you about my oil changes on my Ecoboost engine, the 2-liter. It's currently in my 17 Ford Focus ST. This engine is in a lot of Ford cars, so I'm just gonna call it a 2.0 Ecoboost. I just want to go through a few things that maybe you didn't know, or tricks of changing the oil on this engine of ours or yours. So let's just go into the history of the 2-liter Ecoboost. So I got a little cheat note right here, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing. I don't have anything memorized. So the Ecoboost, it's a pretty good engine. It's got a couple issues. It's got 250 horsepower from the factory. It's got 280 feet or 80 feet of torque, which is pretty good for a 2-liter engine. Compare that to Ford's 3.7 Duratec V6. You're looking at 275. This is a non-turbo engine. It's a 3.7 liter. And it's got 280, so it shares the same 280 as the Ecoboost. So you're really close to V6 power, with 2 less cylinders, and it recommends 5W30. So I got a jug of 5W30. The book says 5.5 quarts that you add. I usually add 6, so I buy 2 jugs. This one was $25 at Walmart, so I'll buy another jug, because if you try to buy 1 quart at Walmart, it's $10. So it doesn't really make any sense when you can buy 5 quarts for $25. So that's just my recommendation. This engine has variable valve timing. Ford calls it TIVCT. So you really want to keep the engine oil a 5W30. VVT, if you try to thicken it with some oil additives, or you want to go up to a 2050 or some crazy, you can cause issues with that system. So I would not recommend putting any, oil additives, anything like that. Just buy the oil, add the oil, call it a day, kind of deal. The type of oil that you put in it is completely up to you. Like everybody has their own. I have Castrol right here. Some people like Mobil 1. Some people like Royal Purple. Some people like some of the expensive stuff. Anything you want. Anything. The thing you need to think about the most is when you turn the bottle, there's going to be an API stamp. It's going to have like a little circle. The oil you want is going to say SN+. And here's why. Now, a lot of these oils that you think are high-end, may not have this SN+. And I highly recommend putting this type of oil in here. It might be a 5W30, but it's not SN Plus certified. And there's a reason why you want to put this in your gas, your turbocharged GDI, gas-directed injection engine, because it really needs this style of oil. The API SN Plus helps with low-speed pre-ignition. They call it LSPI. For short, the oil is good for TGDI engines, basically turbo GDI engine. It helps with turbo cooking, so that could be an issue, This will help protect the turbocharger, make sure it lasts a very long time. The oil has additives in there to help it. The other thing that's very important is that these GDI cars, they don't have a way to clean the residue off the intake valves. Before GDI came out, the injector, the fuel injector, sat on top of the intake valve, and it would wash the intake valve, then go into go into the combustion chamber. Now, with GDI, the injector's in the cylinder, so you have this PCV system, and this oil built up on your intake valves can reduce power, cause a lot of misfire issues. You can clean it with a cleaner. You know, there's this. I have a video of cleaning it. You might have to manually take the intake manifold off and then clean it manually. You know, there's some videos on, not what I did, but walnut blasting cleans them real good. I like to just prevent that from happening. You know, so I've been using this oil since it came out, and it really helps reduce the oil deposits on the intake valves. I mean, it really helps, and you need it, you know, especially if you own one of these cars, you need it. That's the oil. I put about 6 quarts in it, so I buy 2 of these jugs. Oil filter. I've always ran the manufacturer filter. I'm weird. I think this is a great filter. You know, it's just a quality filter. It's really up to you what kind of filter you want. If you want to put a Wix in, that's cool. If you want to put a Mobile One in, that's cool. My personal opinion is this Motorcraft filter. Basic, inexpensive, you know. You can also get at Walmart if it's in stock. I usually, when I'm at Walmart, if these are in stock, I'll buy 3 or 4 of them, you know, just in case. Another tip, which you probably never even heard of, is this gold plug. This is a really high magnet oil drain plug. It's got a little high powered, I don't know if you can see the tip, but it's really powerful magnet. I've put this in all my cars. Yeah, you know, it's a little extra safety. I do all my own oil changes. I've been doing them for since I was 16. This can really help you, like, you know, like if you hear any weird engine noises, or like your engine's not running very well, you come down and you change the oil and you see a bunch of metal particles, chunks of metal on this, you know that you don't have much time left in your engine. You know, I mean, there should be no chunks of metal ever on this plug, ever. You know, it should be metal free on a good running engine, you know. So I keep it peace of mind. Maybe I can catch the problem before, you know, it sends a bunch of metal through. I mean, it's hard to say, you know, if this is going to protect an engine, because once you have chunks of metal in the engine, it's pretty much a done deal. It could be, you know, main bearings, it could be a lot of things, you know. If it still runs okay, you know, you could tear into it then and maybe find the problem before it explodes into a bigger problem. They're not that expensive, and it's just peace of mind, I guess, for me. You know, look into this. This is an option, obviously. You know, now when it comes, I got this big drain pan. This is the best one you can buy. Another Walmart find, $10. And the reason why I like it open and big and deep is because when you're changing the oil, it sprays. You know, you have a small little oil pan with a little half-inch ridge, it'll go right off that ridge, and it's just a mess. You know, this is probably the best no mess oil pan you can buy. A big, open, I mean, this is a no mess kind of deal. You know, this is what you want when you're changing your own oil. It's big. It's just gonna help. Now, if you're live in a place where, you know, you can get oil on the cement or the driveway, you know, no one cares. Well, maybe you could get a little small one. I still say get one of these. You know, it's a big mumbo jumbo. I don't know how many quarts. I think it's 20 quarts. No, it's 5 gallons, 19 liters. So you can do radiators with this, you know. So it's oil changes and radiators. Perfect. And yeah, I hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Like and share if you want. And yeah, my goal, I've had this Focus. I'm not the original owner. I bought it with 30,000 miles. Just hit 102. And my goal is to get 200,000 miles out of the original engine and turbocharger. So, that's what my plan is. I don't know if I'm pretty much halfway there. So I'm just going to keep changing the oil off more often than, you know, it was at 5,000 miles. I've been changing the oil. Now I'm bringing it down to 4. And I just feel more comfortable at that 4 level because, you know, it's just, for me, because I'm changing my own oil, I'm cutting the middleman out of it anyways. So just easier for me to do that, and maybe I can get to that 200K goal without replacing the turbocharger or the engine. It's got the original clutch, so I know that's going to need to be replaced sometime. You know, it's got a good bite on it, but at some point that might wear. I'd be very surprised if I could make it to 200K with the original clutch. Surprisingly, I've only had to replace the back brakes. The front brakes are the original ones. So, yeah, I've been taking really good care of this car. And it's been a really good car, this Ford Focus ST. So, if you got one, maybe you could leave a comment saying that you hit the 200K mark. That'd make me very happy. And yeah, see you next time.